Life ain't easy, but we make it easier, hopefully. Hey, Positives, we're back. Season 1, Health Over Wealth. Episode 3, The Power of Health, Choosing to Thrive, Not Just Survive. Today we have a very special guest. I introduce to you AAU coaching mastermind, bartending baller, and pickup specialist, Devon. Hey, Devon, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man.
I'm so glad to have you today. And so today we're going to be talking about kind of escaping the corporate life and living a life without strife by making sure you're happy. You know, maybe you have your nice job. Are you enjoying your life? Are you going home and saying, that was fun? So, Devon, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, from Arlington, raised up here, played a little bit of basketball. I coach AAU with Cap City right now. We're actually looking to branch off and do do my own thing.
Okay, and did you used to work an office job?
Yeah, I did. One thing I will say is where I used to work at was more working there. The office job I had was because we had more people who were more like-minded. You deal with a whole bunch of stuff where it's so the way that worked, right? We would come into the office during the day and we would go over a whole bunch of stuff, and it's we did door-to-door sales. So we come in, the first 2-3 hours would be us learning stuff on the boards, getting us ready to obviously go out into the neighborhoods and stuff like that. Probably one thing that kind of helped me out a lot more is just, I guess being mentally prepared for stuff, but they taught you a lot of things how to kind of deal in the real world and deal with people, I guess you can say.
What would you feel comfortable telling us what this job was?
We went door to door, so it's kind of it's funny. So the company that I worked for, we worked with different clients. So I would do sales for Verizon.
Okay, so you're a sales contracting company?
Yeah, pretty much that. Yeah. So we work with different clients. Yeah, Verizon, Inspire, and then AT&T.
I mean, I think that sounds a bit different than your average job, just sitting in the office all day. So that's pretty cool.
I said, when you go out, we call it the field, I guess you can say, and you deal with a whole bunch of BS, I guess you can say. You know, people making dumb excuses, blah 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 blah, and it was just kind of teaching you how to get around that. But the whole goal of it was just everything you learn within this job is use it kind of in your personal life, I guess you can say. But yeah.
So I think that's a pretty cool job. But you said you left because of the pandemic.
Because we went door to door, so it was pandemic time kind of.
How would you say that your office job gave you knowledge that's helped you find balance?
Like I said, we went door to door, so it's it's not just the thought process of it. You're probably oh, that job sounds terrible or it sucks, right? And yeah, it kind of does, right? But it's kind of if you have a goal in mind or what you're trying to accomplish, it makes it a lot easier for you to get there. It allows you to put up with some of the stuff that you don't kind of want to put up with. You know what I mean? Because you have a end game to whatever you're doing. So that was kind of one of the biggest things. And then, I said, it also helps too, using your time wisely, I guess you can say. So yes, everybody works. Because I know even I live with my mom now, I guess you can say. Because sometimes she comes home and she looks like she's done, she's had her mind.
She's burnt out.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But it's cool, I get it. But it's now now when I come, even for me, because we used to work a lot of hours. But it's when you come home, it's all right, take 30 minutes or an hour to do that one thing that you love to do. And a lot of times that'll keep you calm. Not keep you calm, but it'll allow you to relax and get back into it.
Yeah, so taking breaks, when you get to take a break, prioritize yourself.
Yeah.
You kind of got to choose your specialty and work on that, and you got to work with other people. But even so, doing something so repetitively and just kind of being controlled by others can be frustrating. It can be hard. Just kind of the bureaucracy of that type of job can be hard. And so what would you say, what are some common misconceptions or myths that people think that, oh, it's impossible to break away from that corporate job?
Because I feel a lot of things too is just it's I don't know. This is kind of small, but it's when it's raining outside, everybody's kind of gloomy or to hate the day, which is hey, I can't control what the weather, how the weather is, so it's just I just make sure I prepare for it.
Well, because you kind of said, you left your job for multiple reasons, the pandemic, but like you said, now you're a bartender, right? Yeah. And you're an AAU coach.
Yeah.
And so you have more flexible hours, but you still have jobs that give you everything you need.
Yeah.
So it's at what point can people break away from that job that's 9 to 5? It's not flexible hours. It's not something that is everything they want to be doing because
I think that more of that is more just like them prioritize, like more is like prioritizing the time, you know. Because this is the thing, like I said, sometimes their work can become so draining where like they forget that they have. People get so caught up in their work life where it's like they forget they have like other stuff to do. Cause even
so control their work in moderation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because like even like for me, it's like I said, when I worked with that company, I lived in I think Ohio for a little bit, and I'm a big family guy, so it's like every once in a while I had to make sure I like came home just to be around my family, so like that would kind of like reset me and stuff like that.
Yeah, can you tell us more about how when you came home from your job, how you would take care of yourself and how you do take care of yourself to kind of maintain that balance, especially in like society where everyone's valuing work and productivity and like how much is on your paycheck. But how do you come home and say like, I'm not going to worry about that. I did my job. I'm taking a break.
Really, to be honest, I just do whatever I like to do. I like creating a lot of stuff, you know, just like I'm more of a wanderer. So even during the pandemic, I tried to like do like a clothing line thing, something I kind of want to get back to. But like the whole basis of that was like more just like it's called like fresh air, but it's like more on the side of like don't do what people in society kind of want you to do or like be that. It's just like kind of do what makes you happy.
Just be like the new type of air, that clean, something else.
Yeah, it's kind of like whatever you enjoy doing. That's kind of like your breath of fresh air, kind of a thing.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. That's cool. And so, has anyone ever kind of like said like, oh, you know, you need to get a real job, you need to grow up? Has anyone ever said anything like that to you? What do you say to them?
I just ignore them.
You just ignore them?
I don't know. I've always been. I think the older I got, the more I kind of realized is people kind of just like they do what's popular, not popular, but like.
The precedent, the standard. Yeah,
and it's just like I don't really care about too many people's thoughts of me.
Yeah.
I just if you say something, I'm like, yeah, that's cool, I guess. You know, I think and that's more of like just like a self thing. I think it's just like you have to kind of build yourself up to that point. You know, because like it happens a lot like when you're younger. I guess like growing up, you want even like for me, it's like. Playing basketball, you want to impress the people because you want to be like the top guy or whatever it is, right? But then a lot of times when you're going out of your way to try to like impress people, it turns into like, I guess I kind of
lose like, the fundamentals.
Yeah, or it's like or even there is like you just find yourself messing up more. Versus if you're just like, all right, I'm doing this because it's something I like to do, or it's like, all right, I'm just gonna do me, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes it might rub people the wrong way, and I think that's kind of the thing. I think a lot of people are scared of like. Not pleasing people. Like, like people, they always want to be like a people pleaser. And it's just like, at the end of the day, you have you and yourself. So it's just like.
I mean, I think I really admire you because a lot of people, they go by society standards. They feel like they have to go out of high school, they have to get a job, and they have to work until they're, 70, 60, and then they retire. But you said, okay, I'm going to ignore these standards. I'm going to ignore... I mean, this bureaucracy, this system was built during the Industrial Revolution, 19th century. And by John D. Rockefeller, and you're going to say, okay, I'm not just going to do something to do it, to be part of the system, to be successful.
Because he's the guy that made like the 40-hour work week. And all that. Yeah. They still always talk about that. And I was like, nah, this guy's terrible.
And I say that, he made the 40-hour work week to fuel our capitalist economy. And he said, you know, I want to make schools, I want to make it so we teach workers. And I know that I'm really lucky I have a great school system. I learn so many insightful things, especially through like the IB program. But I think one way you look at it is like, you can learn so many things from school and that's amazing. But how are you going to take it? Are you just going to take it and apply it in the box, the non-abstract, the straight line way? Are you going to go out of the way and you're going to take it in the world, like you said, and use your knowledge in ways you enjoy and take it to other people? Or you're going to be defined by, and I say success in quotes, because is it successful to make money but then go home and be not happy? Or is it successful to have enough money to do what you want but be happy and just not go by the standards? Yeah.
And I think that's like the thing. I think I got in trouble a lot, like not doing anything crazy, but it was just because I couldn't really just like, it was just like, school to me was too like, not regular, you know what I'm trying to say? Like it's just like too much, maybe too much, not enough hands-on learning, maybe? Yeah.
I can feel you there. I have ADHD, and I think there's a lot of people, ADHD is like a spectrum. So, you know, everyone can have their own things, but there is some people who would prefer to just see something and take notes and memorize it. And sometimes that can work for me, but I know I'd prefer a lot of hands-on learning. I'd prefer, okay, not just we do this, like the IB philosophy, why are we doing this? What is this going to help us do in the world? And I think with AI coming into our modern world.
Is that the people artificial intelligence? That's like the music
it's
stuff.
not like actual artificial intelligence for movies that feels emotions yet, but it's just like programs. But I think it's going to show like we take away this busy work, so you're not just going to be writing notes. AI can do that because that's just kind of busy work. So then you get to focus on, okay, how am I going to sell the human interaction? How am I going to make this stand out? Why should I really do this? What is the deeper reasoning? So we're going to kind of get past just the, like I said, the in the box, just everyone's working at a computer, copying something down or relaying the message. And so you can really get creative. You can get past that busy work and we can see how that develops. But I also think that's why your job is so cool because a lot of people might look at you and they say, you know, they're going to hate on you. But I think, you know, you're successful. You're an AAU coach. That's not like an easy thing. You have to coach a bunch of annoying middle schoolers.
Yeah, they're funny, man. Yeah.
And not only you're a role model, but you're teaching them. And it's not just about basketball. You're teaching about more than that and other things. And it's just like you look like humans. Are we really meant to just be programmed in this way? Or are we meant to like look in so many?
I think for me, like with coaching too as well, that's why I kind of get, I don't know how to say it. It was like, I don't work like how like, I want to say normal people. It was like, I kind of just go with like the flow or just like, you know, it's like, I try to get to know, like even with the coaching thing, it's just like, I try to get to know a lot of people.
You're not the average coach.
Yeah, like I don't do things the normal way, I guess you can say, or the average way, you know, so.
Yeah, well I can see that. I mean, I know a few of your players, they say they really like you, but are you going to follow the flow or are you going to pave your own path? And that path might become the new flow if it becomes better, right?
Yeah. And that's kind of that's what I was trying to get at, what you just said. It's just, and that's like my thing with basketball. Cause like one thing I've noticed too, like a lot of coaches, right, is like, especially at like the kid age that I have, like middle schools, like a lot of them they have to like figure out what kind of player they want to be, or what they can be,
what the role will be on the court. Yeah.
And like what happens is like with a lot of like these coaches, it's like, and this is just kind of like how life is in general. It's like they'll tell you do this, do that. Versus me, it's like I'd rather you just be able to think. Like I want you to be able to think for yourself. I don't want you to always look at me, and I have to think for you. Yeah, you got to be your own thinker. You're not just gonna be a rule. Why you can't just follow the rules? Follow the rules that you believe in. Yeah, I like that. And that's kind of the thing, and that's kind of like my approach with pretty much just like everything in general. It's like, you know, it's like, yeah, we have all this information, but it's like, if someone tells me something, it's kind of like, that doesn't really make sense, so I'm not going to do that. Or I'm going to ask you more questions, and I'm like, yeah, what you're saying doesn't make sense, so I'm going to kind of go with that. And even, I don't know, that's like the big, I think that's probably why maybe the kids like me a lot, because like, I give them the freedom, but I feel like that's kind of like the biggest thing. Yeah, I think that's what's really important is that you're not the boss. You're the coach. You're coaching them so they can learn how to lead themselves. What would you say are some things you could add on to your work life? People just have to be able to, I don't know, just like relax a little bit. People are like really uptight. That always weirds me out sometimes, you know. But I don't know, just have fun with it. Don't take things too seriously. Yeah, well, I want to thank you for coming. We kind of, not gonna lie, to the Positiers, we definitely went off script, but I like that. So I want to thank you for coming, and I really appreciate it. And then today, of course, this podcast, not yet, hopefully soon, does not have any sponsors, but we will continue to do 2 advertisements at the end of each episode, just because hopefully someday this podcast will get advertisements. And so Devon's going to be talking about the shout-outs or the advertisements. Yeah, I got one. It was the AU organization going to start up with Mike Tuck. It's called the Nova Shockers. Name is kind of in limbo right now, but we're starting that up. So whenever we get everything up and going, I'll send it out to my boy Nick here, and then we'll do stuff like that. Well, can you tell us a bit about the organization? Yeah, it's AAUs, but I kind of want to bring back the feel of like when I was playing, you know, like the together, like I don't know, like the family atmosphere. And it's just like, it's all about closer knit community kind of thing. Yeah. And it's like making it all about like the kids, giving them the best experience they can with the basketball stuff. So, you know, while they're like more like middle school age, so then like when they get to high school, it's kind of like what I want to do, like put them in the best position possible, you know, to succeed, I guess you can say. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming. Yeah. All my Positiers, thanks for listening. Have a dandy day. And do what you enjoy.